Remember, Yarv already got sent home as we go into our operator ban phase, and it will be Ying banned out immediately by Team Liquid. And considering, SSG used a fair bit of Ying, I'm not too surprised at all.
Yeah, that's definitely a direct response to the last map. Nomad taken out again, so that's 2 games in a row. We will not see that. Malusi taken out once more, so SSG are very straightforward with their bans. Same set of bans, both games in a row. Last ban from Team Liquid, no doubt whatsoever. They got that locked in, and we are going to say good night to Kaid, which means hatches, walls, everything is now fair game.
Exactly, with Habon on the board as well, it's going to be much easier to get through everything and chew those open. You have a lot of hard breach utility, you have secondary hard breach can openers in the back pocket, lots of very popular operators. Not going to be one of the good examples. You do lose nades for it, but we do see a lot of Nook on this map. So I am intrigued how this will go. Hatch is going to get it opened up very easily. This might mean it's going to swing a little bit more favorable to the attacking side, as those Kaid claws can be a nuisance to clear and deal with. But in the storyline of this matchup, SSG were 6-1 up on their map choice, and now they're going in to their opponent's map choice, a map down. That is going to be a very, very tricky position to find yourself in. And Liquid, massive momentum, massive energy buff for them. And they're going to be starting the defensive side on the basement. This is typically the freebie defense win.
It is, and this is where we need to see SSG show us the mental that they have in the back pocket, because they just lost 7 rounds in a row. I keep bringing it up because what, but that happens very rarely, especially when you've got 2 teams of this caliber. But you spoke about it, this is usually a default free win for teams on the defense when they come here. And it is nice to see that SSG, they've read the situation and they are using that attacker repick once more to bring those nades to the party.
Well, you need them. Again, this is why attacker repick has kind of changed the climate that we're in right now. SSG have seen what they're going to be facing up against. They're like, time to bring some nades, time to bring some clear. We see that one sole hard breacher in the side of Bosco. Again, that's the role Bosco plays in that more support position. So they don't have any contingency plan. They don't have any secondary hard breach. So if that Habano does falter, any player on the hatches is going to waver. And SSG, yesterday actually, enjoyed playing very aggressive on the E-box hatch, and it was often to their own detriment. So I really hope they don't try to involve that very similar strategy this time out. But Liquid look like they're already setting up to stall SSG, and they've read into this massive west side entrance and clear.
Yeah, they watched the game. They know exactly the situation's going on. It's probably why they took SSG to this map. Now we'll see Iana being used to open up that door. And as things stand, Dexter, who has been having an absolutely fantastic couple of games over these few days, coming in new to the roster, will look to continue that. Fultz, Jackal on this map can be great as well, but the thing is, the player whose feet that you can see, long gone.
You see, just by the color coding on it, again, they're nowhere nearby. They've already fallen back the side. The time you took to clear that Fultz, well, that was valuable time you could be using in that execution. So with a minute 40 left in this round, rotation calls. So SSG essentially cleared the entirety of this map. They can now start getting everything in place for that execution, which hatches, map control, picks, you name it, they'll try and get it. Rotation now Fultz going down towards elbow, as Rambi will give himself some flexibility in rotations around, but SSG likely going to go for some significant pressure instead of freezer. They're going to need it, and they're going to go for a very multi-pronged approach. But we haven't seen a whole lot of Liquid yet because, well, they're sitting off site essentially.
Yeah, they've turtled down and they're forcing the members of SSG to come at them. And with a minute left on the clock in situations like this, if it is going to come down to a very fast, aggressive push, Liquid need to stay calm and understand the situation. Now the push is going to come through. Ask got a little aggressive trying to find the kill, but didn't give away enough of his position for Fultz to get the kill. And now the smoke grenades are going to be thrown to buy even more time. Those smoke canisters are just so good at buying time. There will be a sprint through. Dexter is going to get taken down. Ness gets one. PSK and Palu. Are we going to see a team ace here at some point? Well, it's all down to resets. If resets can find it, it is PSK. Flawless from Liquid.
You always want to start a map the way you want to continue it in the flawless round. That's exactly what you want for Liquid. So far, Liquid on an absolute tear of rounds. Remember, 6-1 down. They've won all those rounds. Now they've won another one. That's a lot of consecutive rounds. They just keep stringing together. So for Liquid, that's going to be their gimme, though. That is the basement on Oregon. You kind of expect to win that one. Now SSG, it's time to test them, as they're likely to go up the dorms or pick one of those middle for tertiary, typically tertiary sites for this. But Liquid, good start from them. Flawless round. You could never argue with that one. SSG, while they got the map control, they got all the hatches, all the angles. They didn't get a pick. Liquid have learnt a lesson from what SSG done to them, and they're deciding, you know what? We're not going to take a gamble. Why take these unnecessary fights? We'll wait. We'll let the clock do all the heavy lifting for us. SSG had no answer to time itself.
Liquid, I am loving what I've seen from you guys in the last 8 rounds. And now we go back up to that top floor into bunks. And the way that teams like to play this side again, little bit of pressure on attack on white stairs, cut off the rotate over through Shower's corridor. We've seen Wild do a lot. We've seen them jumping out on drones with it just to make sure that they were able to freely rotate around. And Ask is going to use that bailiff to create a line of head heights all the way out through that main double door.
Give himself a massively long angle to work with, and he's going to try and contest SSG. So perhaps that, passivity, that decision to play a little bit more reserved might go out the window now. But again, what they've done here, even by these wooden barricades going over, is slowing down SSG. Right, this is going to be another thing to clear. It's like maybe only a second to hit it down or shoot it down, but it's an extra second, and Ask can rotate away essentially freely with being Oryx as well. And dive through them with a single press of a button, or go up and down the hatches available to him inside a meeting.
And Ask is still playing by the main double door, but a heavy focus being pushed in towards master bedroom. Dexter has already pushed up towards Trophy, followed closely behind by Bosco, who just had a look around to see if there was any cameras in and around bedroom, but didn't spot the one inside the TV, which is just feeding information to those Liquid defenders. The stim will tell me that the push is about to come, and Nesk is going to get 2 for free, and it is a 4v3. Nesk, this is what we were expecting from you this tournament.
Nesk already gets those 2 picks. He goes in and gets an impact trick, and there's going to be Ask as well. He'll get the pick on the faults, and now pressure begins as SSG at boiling point. Rampy will get 1 on the Nesk, but he's going to choke so much and lose a lot of HP for that pick. A minute 35 left in this round. Rampy and Bosco, the last 2 standing. If you wanted anyone on this roster that's not Houghton to be able to be in the advantage position, it's either of those 2 as well. And you got both of them, and against 3 of Liquid, PSK Ask resets. What can they do? Hold out for just a little bit over a minute, and they get themselves a second consecutive round. SSG, tentative moments for them, gathering some critical information, but Liquid, they know, don't take a risk, don't take a gamble, let's hold our crosses and just wait.
Yeah, 1 gas canister in the pocket as well from PSK, which can be used to further delay this push, and Bosco cannot afford to spend a single second inside of it as he just waits for that free kill. He's hoping that a defender will pass, but Liquid are in positions where they don't necessarily need to push, but resets will do it anyway, but unable to find that kill. But still holding back this team, or this SSG push, and once again, it just looks like SSG have run out of ideas.
SSG will have to funnel themselves through this doorway, and that is going to be a simple cleanup for the side of Liquid. Another round consecutively from the previous map. This is what? How many rounds, Gibson, now is this?
9.
Wow. 9 rounds from Liquid uncontested from SSG. Oh, when it rains, it pours.
From 6-1 down, by the way, for anyone who is just joining us, they have won 9 rounds in a row. And what a push. And as you pointed out, that move from Ness, getting the double kill, impact tricking as well, just had such an impact. Team Liquid looking to go 10 rounds in a row if they can win this one. And those guys in LATAM, those passionate fans, we know they're loving this.
You know, Twister's loving this about this. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely just soaking in the moment. Going, God, I'm finally going to win a game out here. It's been fantastic from Liquid so far. SSG, time to stop the bleeding just a little bit. If you lose 10 rounds consecutively to a team, any team, that's a massive blow to morale, massive blow to your scoreline as well, going 10 rounds down. I'm beginning to believe in Liquid just a little bit more right now. Just a little bit.
They just made us wait. You know, they made us wait over the course of the first day to come back hard on day 2. SSG reeling as things stand. But this is them on attack. Their chance to just work and make something happen. Anything at all. SSG, they will take a really messy round 1 at this point just to get a round 1.
I mean, any round victory is better than none right now. If you continue to let Liquid have this reign of momentum, you're really inviting essentially unnecessary pressure upon yourself here. A minute, well, actually, we're barely into the round. I can't count sometimes, especially when on camera. So, Dexter will bash open that window. He'll send that Gone 6 in just to clear some very critical utility. The go button's pressed once again on the hands of Lion, and SSG are trying to be aggressive, trying to be in the face of Liquid, but as I said already, Liquid have kind of learned a lesson from Border. They're not going to give SSG anything. They're going to be reserved. You're not going to see a whole lot of Liquid until the final few moments of this round because, well, if SSG aren't given a pick, they're really struggling to find one, and especially on a linear map like Oregon, it's not an easy job to do so.
Yeah, and Ask is going to begin doing some recon with those Echo drones as well, which is something that's come into the game in the last couple of years because they're obviously not as invisible as they used to be. They're pretty obvious when they're spotted, so why not use it like an ad hoc Mozzie where you can just fly around the map and get even more information. Rampy now looking to push through Attic. Getting that hatch down open to Attic, which already is also a position of power. But SSG, 1 minute and almost 30 seconds into the round already, still clearing out that top floor.
This is slow. This is very slow from SSG. This is why, yes, they're a structured side, and Paul is on the flank here. Ness going to be able to find one to Fulson. You're going to be a little bit worried right now for the side of SSG. Paulu's position's known, but the first pick is going to go in favor of Liquid once again. SSG slow, lethargic, don't have an answer. Again, this is a tertiary side. This is essentially what you'd assume is the gimme for the offensive side here on Oregon. And Liquid don't look like they have any intention of abiding by the rules at all. Just over a minute left in this round. What can they do? What can SSG recover? Only one player down. They've only lost Fultz so far, but time will be your nemesis, and Resets might just creep his way down white stairs and find something else.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the crouch walk. The knee of Finka gives away the position on small tower as well. Dexter thinks that he's being sneaky, but the members of Team Liquid know exactly where he is as that Echo. It's just in such a good position. It's a position that they don't expect the Echo drone to be. Houghton, though, pushing in towards sight. The nade from his teammate will force him back, and now the aggressive button has been pushed. Bosco hits a beautiful shot onto Ask, and with 1 HP in a dream, he is planting that diffuser. 4v4, and look at the kill feed lighten up as it's now a 3v2. Ness gets traded out. Another spray, but this is a post-plant situation with it.
We have 30 seconds till we hit Critical and Rampy at a key position. SSG only down to 2 players, however. It's going to be Dexter and Rampy against 3 of Liquid. What can they do, though? Time is going to be in their favor now. Rampy in a corner, tucked away. But look how separate SSG are right now. Liquid need to find one pick and find it now. And Rampy met by 3! And now surely Dexter will have to find something heroic. And the Azami barrier will stop him in his tracks. He'll get one to Paulu, but PSK will stick this. And he's going to get it shut down. And that is Liquid. That is 10 consecutive rounds in this series against SSG. Liquid in a run of form right now. SSG, you gotta put this fire out before it spreads because you're running out of time here in Oregon.
Liquid are playing so well right now, whatever happened. And we said it, they're a team that once they start believing, once they get the passion going, they are nearly impossible to stop. SSG are the exact same, and they are the ones right now that are staring at this massive ball of snow coming down the hill.
They can't stop it right now. They need to find something. It's going to be something heroic to get over this mountain that is Liquid. 10 rounds in a row. 10 rounds in a row. SSG, you need to find something. Find it now, because you're running out of time, as I said before. And these attacks, they've looked slow. And they've looked slow for Oregon. I don't expect absolute lightning pace on a map like Oregon, but SSG just a little bit off the pace. And Liquid really are exploiting that.
They are, and I am loving it. There's no better way to shut down a structured side than meeting them with even more structure of your own, and it's being very difficult for SSG to break it down. Team Liquid now, as we pointed out, 10 rounds in a row. Are we going to get 11, or can SSG stop the bleeding? This is a deep cut that they have, and Dexter will begin to draw. You know, this has been a crazy game, but we were over an hour ago, we thought that the first map was going to end, and here we are an hour later, just 4 rounds into map 2. This is absolute insanity to me. Absolutely crazy that Liquid managed to pull this one off. It's a change of play. What they could have done is so... it's not mind-blowing, but they've read into it. They changed the way they're playing. SSG struggle to get the picks here.
SSG done the same thing to Liquid. Liquid, I've just said, you know what, it's difficult to win if no one's peeking you. Well, it's not going to peek. And this is really frustrating SSG. It's making them work really hard to try and break down this defensive structure. And they have a new player coming in as well. Dexter is new to this side, not going to be like as in rhythm with the rest of the team, but False certainly is finding the opening pick on the ball. Rampy takes a massive amount of control. Nesk will begin to fall back now, and that pick going in favor of SSG. Good start because you're on the hardest attack site and you've got the first pick, and it wasn't traded away from Liquid. So now perhaps you can consider just trading your way to victory. The last 4 members of Liquid have all compacted themselves deep inside of sight.
And Palu has been one of the stars of this comeback so far that we've seen from Team Liquid, but SSG find themselves with the numerical advantage. But one thing I want to touch on, they've only got 6 kills of this map, and we are halfway through round 4. That's how dominant the Team Liquid have been on defense. So SSG will really need to start upping those numbers. Ask will get rid of that. Flores coming down the stairs, and now Dexter get out of position. And this is the attack we see all the time. Freezer and Laundry trying to cover the angles, and they're just thinking maybe they might drop down the hatch, but no, we know exactly what push is coming from SSG.
What actually happened there, so the reason they rotated away there is because that Azami clone got shot out. So the intention was there to use, not the Azami clone, the Honor clone, was just, the intention was clear the Azami gate with that one, and then all of a sudden, you know, you can push on in. But now we got a real rotation, so a little bit of pressure. Now E-Box hatch might be a factor now, as well as Freezer. We've only got 30 seconds left to scrap through this round, and only 4 members of Liquid still stand. So detonations, explosions all around, and there's the go button pressed on Lion. PSK doing a huge position. That nade will push him away as well. Everyone inside of Freezer now as they cascade on in, but Ness gonna get fully blinded. It's gonna be a flurry of kills now, but it's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. PSK still tucked away in that corner. Bosco will find one more of his own. SSG in complete control, it feels like, and that Lion will stop this push from PSK. Heroics now requires he's gonna swing wide. He knows the player's still inside of Freezer. Reset's gonna get slain out, and that's gonna be too many bodies to deny. Finally, SSG get 1 round back. They stop the 10-round streak of Liquid. Huge from them, well played, and a good late round adaptation, realizing we can't push Laundry. Let's put all of our eggs into that Laundry plush, and it worked out perfectly. They get themselves the very first round here in Oregon.
And is that a Band-Aid, or is that stitches that have been put on that wound that SSG have after those 10 rounds lost in a row? It's 3-1, and all of a sudden things don't look anywhere near as bad. If we see SSG win this next round, you're sitting at 3-2, and you're like, what was people even worrying about from the SSG side of things? But look who PSK's brought to the party. Clash.
That's going to grind this to an absolute halt, isn't it? That Clash is going to be a difficult thing to deal with. You're not going to be too keen on it. They'll see it, of course, in the drone phase, or they'll likely assume it from hearing it waltz around the building. And they have the attack replay to try to deal with it. But this basement site always comes down to time. Time is the biggest factor that compresses the offensive side into these difficult positions. And if you're in that late round push and you're met by a Clash, well, that's a whole new puzzle to solve. So it's really important, if they want to play this, I'm assuming, turtle strategy, they need PSK to stay alive as long as possible.
That's the job of Clash, to enable the rest of the defenders as well and give you so much intel. But there's going to be a bit of shield-on-shield action as Dexter has brought a blitz to the party as well. And when you see a blitz, there's only ever one thing that you think about, but it is hard, fast, and direct.
Well, Blitz can essentially only really do that in a slow and kind of map control oriented push. It's very difficult to make that Blitz work as effectively. So, judging by the spawn position, he's going to go down those Laundry stairs. And Paulo is in a very, very good position on the Warden to essentially be, you flashed me, okay. And, you know, if you throw those goggles on, it's not going to really be a massive factor. But SSG will go through the processes now, clearing that verticality upstairs and the hatch, meaning anyone playing around those stairs is going to be forced back. That will give themselves some space if they want to do that execution, if they want to be quick with that Blitz. But I do think they're going to kind of have as an ace up their sleeve later on in this round, as Dexter will just be waiting to get deployed with the rest of the squad.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of when that button is going to be pushed, because when it is pushed, they will go as fast as they can. Rampy still just clearing out that main focus. You don't want anybody getting in behind your lines when you go for a push like this, because it can be an easy 1, 2, 3 kills if it is the right player. Bosco opening the hatches. There is the first push of that Lion, and here goes Blitz getting in position over by that construction door.
They're just waiting. They're going to wait. They're going to put a Lion scan in. They're going to send that all in. I'm very much intrigued to see how this is. Alt walking being as slow as possible, slow and quiet. don't want to give away this play. Liquid, are you ready? Are you ready at home in Twitch chat as well for this one? SSG getting ready to send in, deploy the blitz. We'll have to wait just a little bit longer. Normally you see teams like Wild, for example, they don't really care about this whole map control and droning stuff when you have a blitz. You know, kind of push aces in the elbow and wait. But I'm assuming they've gone sixes there, and in they go. And they're going to be met with the player inside of elbow and a mirror window, and there's the clash. Oh no, SSG, you've walked right into the trap of Liquid, and that's going to be picking up kills left, right, and center. And SSG reduced to 1. It's Volts alone out in barrels, and I'm going to say this is a round for Liquid.
Well, that attack rush became a defender rush as they just tore apart that push. The Clash was the hero, closing that little hole all by herself. And now Fultz is just waiting time. Look, this is just an exercise in how many 1v1s he can get. But no, Palu is there. And Liquid go 4-1 up. And dare I say it, Whippet, are we going to see, in regulation, 3 5-1 defensive halves in a row?
That would be insane. That would absolutely be insane to see. That what a storyline that would be coming out of this matchup, coming out of this competition at all. We've had a lot of very dominant opening halves from teams in this competition so far, especially here on the A stream. It's been really, really compounded to these close matchups. But SSG strategy, I mean, whether that was a counter strat, a read, or just a random pocket strat call, it worked out perfectly for them. I mean, Liquid, take a bow with that one. That worked out perfectly for you as they move on to round number 6, the last of the defensive side for Team Liquid. And they're going to go up to dorms once again. And look at that man, Nesk. Last time we were here, he had a mega performance, getting 2 picks, denying an impact, tricking the wall behind him, and being just in that key position, really vital for his team. From a player who was a little bit quiet on border, I'm very impressed with how Nesk is performing in Oregon here today.
I think he's gone from not, and now this is caster math, so it's always a little bit iffy, but he was not in 3 in the first map. And he finished, I believe, was it 10 and 7? And now he's got another 6 and 3 in this one. He has been absolutely on it so far. And we see an engager, Oryx, taking a little bit of damage. That wasn't a gunfight for viewers at home. That's just Oryx using his ability to create those rotates. But part of me wants this to go 5-1 just because I've never seen a series like this go 3 5-1 defensive halves in a row.
That would be insane to see. It really would be absolutely nuts to witness that one. Nexter will take a little bit of damage early. Will top himself up as well. Of course, that is the benefit of the Finka. Left a little bit alone right now, forced to drone for himself. As Ask, who's had massive impact. Well, Ask's the IGL of this roster, and you really don't see an IGL in many regions popping off the way Ask has done so far. Only on 4 and 3 so far, but had a huge impact throughout rounds on the previous map as well. Dexter trying to be the tip of the spear, creeping, crawling, twisting their way closer and closer to the trophy. A drone there to help back up and provide support and key information. Just set a flank watch up as well, I would imagine. Only found that Valkyrie camera, so they're going to be able to not be worried about C4s down below. But SSG a little bit more direct this time, and they're really speeding it up, which is what they needed to do. Much
better. This is how they need to play to just take the fight to Team Liquid. And Fultz will now get that Votero into sight to just clear any utility that will allow them to open up that wall. Nesk is that utility though in this position using Azami. Another explosion pops and Palu takes a bit of hurting, and there is the impact trick.
Nesk in this position is just an absolute maestro at it. That's going to be even more X-Car's Pellets denied. The Rotero drone forces him away, but the Zami barrier he sends up, guess what? Gets him a free cross on the player on the game's window, showing exactly how versatile that operator is. Minute 15 left in this round, all 10 players still surviving. And this is only going to favor Liquid as SSG running out of time once again. The breach now open, so they have that avenue to get that plant down in default, but no one's down below, and so he's resets. He's got that C4, and this is going to be huge, but he's going to get caught out. He's going to have to back away, and they can no longer play for that direct denial.
But Ask has backfilled that position. Hot and cold gets the opener as PSK will fall, but there's resets to get one back the other way. That will be Fultz falling. 4v4. Team Liquid looking to take a 4-round lead. SSG trying to crawl one back, and Houghton will fall. Ask will get that kill. And now Dexter will pop the figure, jumping in through the window. Nesk gets 2, and that is the round. 3 5-1 defensive halves in a row, and Liquid Liquid are locked in.
This is not the Liquid that showed up against Wild. This is a much better side, SSG. You got to find some answers now. 5-1 down. Liquid got a reverse sweep on Border. Surely we're not going to see SSG find, 7 rounds against them? This would be huge if that unraveled this way. But you can tell, those player cams tell a story. Liquid, they're having fun. They're absolutely enjoying their time right now. This, again, is their map choice. They went through the slog to get through Border. And SSG brought that one out of the map pool. And now, well, scoreline speaks for itself. Liquid 2 rounds away from progressing on to tomorrow and sending SSG home.
The boys from Brazil are so close to being 2 rounds away from that semi-final, 2 rounds away from joining those really good sides. That 100k extra prize pool as well. Not a bad thing to be playing for inside this game. And SSG now, can they do what they did in the last map? Can they do what Team Liquid have done twice in a row? And the success of all of these defenses, Whippet, has been not getting too aggressive.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, on Border, we saw that as well. We saw a very defense-heavy Border map, and the reason is SSG didn't give Liquid anything, and we saw the kind of the reverse of that one. Liquid didn't give SSG a single pick. 5-1 in. You know what we're seeing right now? So Nevska's going to wait for someone to get a little bit of information, and he's going to pop that barrier, and he's either going to go in himself, or someone's going to arrive behind him and send it through that. And well, guess who's there? That's the mod they've asked. They send them in, and this is map control for absolute free. This is so free, and the roam presence of SSG, well, you know Monty's there now, so that kind of begins to change your plan.
Yeah, and Palu, though, will get the opener. Dexter will fall. Steps onto the goo mine, but it's okay, because Legion is out, and you've nobody else to deal with. Hot and cold, peeking through Freezer, but Ask is just pushed right up on top of that door, and he's going to push towards Pillar now. A lot of this defense from SSG is focused on the ground floor, and Fultz is going to begin creeping up white stairs, and this could be massive, but Whippet, honestly, Team Liquid, I don't see anyone on drones. I don't see anyone on flank. They're just going for kills.
I wouldn't say they're hunting for kills. I'm pretty sure they're confident in map control. Paulie will get caught out by that double roam presence now by ramping. Now that's what they were relying on. A player watching it, not a drone. There is a rotation setup that Dokkaebi call goes out now, but actually there is no rotation. Yana was just there. Okay, fair enough. So that Azami is going to be, just but timed out just a little bit wrong. But resets, knows these players are up here, and he's going to creep his way in. He's inside a pit now. They're not going to be there for him, but he's going to wait. And if he plays his cards perfectly, he's going to catch them napping. There's Rampy, but he's just climbed up the T3. He's going to try and deny it, but those tracer rounds will give away his position. He's going to be left on an island now all alone. Ness is going to get hot and on sight, and this is a massive problem. Fultz is locked in. He is trapped, but Bosco is going to be playing it patiently and waiting for the right moment to strike. And there it is, 2 versus 2, or 2 versus 3 now. Bosco, huge performance as Fultz is now given the opportunity, the window to get back to site and help his team. But Ask, he's going to get that case down.
And Monty is just going to extend that shield and make it impossible for Team Liquid to win this round. There's resets, there's PSK, attackers win round 7, and Team Liquid, yes, Team Liquid are on game, set, and match series point Whippet from 6-1 down in map 1.
If you show me just the scoreline of the first half of the very first map here on Border, I would say, what do you mean Liquid are going to win? What do you mean SSG's going home? What? No, that couldn't be possible at all. But guess what we're on the cusp of saying? SSG have no answer to Liquid. Liquid went through the storm on Border, and now, well, they're reaping their rewards. Absolutely brilliant from them here on Oregon, leaving themselves 1 round away from advancing further. SSG, you got to get 5 rounds consecutively to stay in this competition.
Where have we heard that before?
What?
An hour ago.
It would be. A little bit higher stakes now, considering that we have already got 1 map played and banked up by Liquid. However, we've seen 1 reverse sweep. Oh, we've seen a second? Surely not. No, don't want to believe it.
I just heard from the green room Twister roaring no. That he's so far away, guys, but we know he is loving every single second of this, as is every single player from the region of Brazil. Because this is the thing with it. Yes, you have your favorites when it comes to your leagues, but when it comes to international tournaments, you back your region.
Absolutely. You gotta be agreeing with your region. You've got to absolutely back them with all of it. But right now, for all the NA fans, you are not going to be sitting too comfortably right now. SSG 1 round away from leaving and exiting this competition, leaving only TSM standing to represent your region. That's not going to be a very good premise right now, as their run of form hasn't been too ideal, as they will be playing later on today in their lower bracket matchup against Falcons. The Lion Scan sent out once again. I think Liquid are going to be unrelenting with the pace of this attack. They decided to not wait around. Reset's cautious of this run out. We've seen that one before this tournament already. And that's going to be, I think, right now, calm the nerves for Team Liquid. You're 1 round away. Play it right, play your game, establish yourself, but Nesk has been given so much free reign. He's bottom white stairs and the sight's just above him, and resets inside of armory already? Oh no, SSG are giving up a lot of free map control. Do they have an answer? That C4 sent up to the ether, and they've just lost a massive bit of utility. Look how early in the round this is. Liquid in a good position so far.
Yeah, it's not looking good for SSG, even though they've still got 5 players up with Liquid. They've got 3 players on the balcony. 1. We need to double check, but I think Nesk may still be floating around white stairs. And you've got your Zofia playing inside library. Now utility being thrown in the trophy to just force those defenders further and further back to put them into a corner. And that is where Liquid, I think, thrive the most. When you have all the defenders in a little close area, when you have players like Nesk, you can tell them apart. Fultz misses a huge opportunity and he falls back.
No, not like this, but that will be Dexter. He's going to get 1, but there's resets for the trade. The opening inside of Walk-In might be a massive opening, but there's the nade. Rampy will get 1 on the Nesk, however. It's going to be a 3 versus 3. These teams cannot find a separation from each other. What all? 50 seconds left. Rampy, bottom white stairs. The rotation held by Paulu, but we see Rampy run and scamper away the opposite direction, down by green. 40 seconds. Tentative moments. Liquid waiting. SSG preparing for the wave. The onslaught of Brazil to arrive upon their doorsteps. 30. Every second, every heartbeat waits for this one. And this pick can be critical as Fultz won't whiff this time. 20 seconds and now SSG have a lifeline, have a hope. And Team Liquid, time to get scrappy, time to brawl. And SSG stay alive. Fultz picks up the final piece. And is this the beginning of something? It's a long road ahead of SSG, but Liquid's already done it once this series. Good performance from them and Fultz. Good flank, good rotation, good recovery to get that one closed out. We now have a 6-2 scoreline in favor of Liquid.
4 in a row is what the doctor requires now. And I don't know if my heart can take it. This has been a very big game, and this is still the groups whip it. This is an incredible start to this tournament. But as this goes, you lose, and you're going home. You win, you go to the semis. This is match point, series point once more for Team Liquid. And we're going back down to the basement. And look at that lineup that's being taken. Yes, of course, there's 30 seconds to still lock it in, but it's aggressive, it's angry, it's dangerous. And as you turn your attention over to SSG, Warden is there. You've got yourselves Smoke, another operator who's very good at delaying time. But at home, take a deep breath, because once that match start points happens for everyone till now to the end of the game, it is going to be intense.
I don't think I can handle this. I cannot handle this at all. Both of these teams have such a special place in our scene. SSG, former world champions. Liquid, I mean, the last time they had trophy wear would have been Atlantic City against G2 many, many moons ago. You really have to really want the cheer for this side right now. As Liquid 1 round away from moving forward, sending SSG home. And I think they have every potential to do so. Nesk really coming alive this time, coming alive this map. Was quiet on border, but shows still has it, still has that ability to be one of the best in the world in this server. But Fultz queuing up to try and take that early engagement. That's resets, rotate the green. But no information for Liquid right now. Pretty weak on the drone game so far in this early stage.
And just as you said, they hop on the drones. They were listening to the cast. I don't think they should, because sometimes we get things a little bit wrong, but Fultz will fall back onto site. Lion popping that EDE, just freezing those defenders in spot once again as they push through Kitchen. And as you look through the attackers, not a single one whippet is currently on a drone or getting intel.
I really want to hope that they've got good pre-places that they're going to check, or they have people set up to hold these rotations across. Paulie will get information that no one's in T3. Now, we get the benefit of silhouettes. We know no one's there, but we've seen already that SSG are more than willing to go there later on inside a round. We're at the halfway point now, and PSK still trying to climb the ladder with his drone. I think he gets it done this time, don't you reckon? Slowly but surely, he gets it done.
Go.
Hey! And he'll now be able to get, okay, we already do it, it's clear. Well done, okay. Back to droning, back to droning.
They don't have time to do it again. You don't have the time.
Info. He already got the info, it's clear.
Exactly. And now, Ask will begin opening that hatch. One thing I don't want to see from Liquid is the same thing that SSG tried on Wild, which really fell apart. Resets, tossing nades, down by pillar. That opening pick is just vital for this one. And there's that Kiba barrier once more that's just so difficult to attack through because you can see nothing, they can see your toes. Resets will hit the nade onto Rampy, and he hits 10. Match point, 5-4 in favor of Team Liquid.
40 seconds left to work with, and Liquid with that opening pick. They are attacking the hardest site to find, but that's going to be SSG. Oh, volley with Houghton and Dexter. Now it's all down to two members of Liquid, and PSK will take a beating for his aggressive push inside of Freezer. 30 seconds, and Esk will get one. That's going to be Houghton off the board. Are you starting to believe that Esk can pull this one back? He's been on fire in form recently. Both members of Liquid on low HP as well, and now it's all down to Esk alone in the 1 versus 3. He can't catch a player inside of elbow. Will SSG get too aggressive now? He'll have to check every corner, every angle, but look at that time top of your screen. It's going to hit red very shortly. There's only 10 seconds left to go. If anyone can win this out, it's not going to be Ness. This time it's Fultz is there, tucked on the corner. SSG find their second round in a row. There's no way. I'm not going to believe there's going to be a second reverse sweep. Nope, not going to believe it. There's no way. Simply not. But Liquid coming very, very close. That is the hardest site to attack. So even with the opening pick, it's not going to be a guarantee to get it. But